Hello friends, welcome back to Car Info and Suggestion. Today we are going to see about the working of AMT gearbox in a diesel automatic car. So as you can see, this is the Maruti Suzuki Swift in its diesel automatic avatar. So this is the exterior of the car, which looks extremely beautiful and looks very attractive with all the necessary exterior accessories. So this is the rear view of the car. So the hazard lights are on. Now we'll get back to the interior. The interior gets all black theme. So there is a ceramic kind of finish in this central part of the console, and this is the touchscreen, this is the automatic climate control, and this is the sportiest speedometer. You can see the gear position indicator, right? So the hazard light remains on, and these are the basic power window controls, and this is exterior rear view mirror and everything. Now we'll get back to the main topic. So this is the AMT transmitter. This is the transmission selector. Now the transmission selector is in neutral. Now if I move the gear shifter like this is the drive mode, and if I push it to the left, this is the manual mode. Now I can increase the gear or decrease the gear. Okay, if I increase, it moves to second gear, and if I decrease, it moves to first gear. And for reverse, you have to push the gear selector like this. So this is the reverse mode, and as soon as you push the gear selector to reverse mode, the reverse camera turns on. So the reverse camera is of very good clarity, but it doesn't get adaptive guidelines. The guidelines remains fixed. Okay, so how to drive a AMT gearbox? So as you can see, immediately I push the gear selector to D and remove the accelerator pedal. The car starts to move. The car starts to move at 8 km/h. You can see it, right? It slowly increases the speed, and I have to accelerate a bit. So if I accelerate a bit, the car starts to move. As soon as I hit the 2100 rpm, the gear selector changes to second gear, and again at around 2000 rpm, the gear shifts to third. And and for fourth gear, the transmission takes place at around 1900 rpm. So if I hit 1900 rpm, the gear changes to fourth, and for fifth gear I have to hit a rpm of 1700 rpm. So for mileage conscious buyers, you can drive the transmission manually like this. So now it is in manual mode. I can less the gear if I want. So it looks like this. Okay, for instant overcut, I can even push the gear like this. Say the turbos pulls up, right? It's very fun to drive in manual mode. And this diesel engine is very famous for its torque. You can hit instantly 120 km/h, and it's very relaxed at even 120 km/h, which spins up at 2300 rpm. So you can see it, right? The road is very empty, so I am just driving with all the safety precautions, seatbelt on and everything. I have no passengers, so I am driving like this. And this engine is suffering from a turbo lag at around 1800 to 2000 rpm, and immediately after I hit the turbo spool, it just picks up. See, I am in 130 km/h, and it's very stable, right? But the steering does inspire certain amount of confidence as compared to other Maruti cars, especially that of Baleno. So the Swift is an extremely sportier car, but it doesn't have the characteristic of its first generation. The first generation Maruti Swift, along with its diesel avatar, was extremely fun to drive, but this generation is kind of matured. So the AMT transmission is very easier to drive. You can see it, right? I have my manual mode. Now if I want to less the gear, I can less the gear, and it instantly picks up. It's very fun to drive, guys. So now I'll put it in drive mode. Drive mode is kind of calm, sedate, and for economic conscious buyer. And drive mode can be used for city runabouts and also for highway, for those lazy long journeys. But for fun, you have to just put this gear selector to manual mode, tapless some of the gears, and instantly the engine kicks up. See the level of pulling the engine has. So yeah, it's extremely fun to drive in these kind of empty roads. So I'm just showing you how the pickup is for this kind of vehicle. The sad part of this car is this particular diesel automatic model has been stopped by Maruti after April 2019. So it's been 3 years. Maruti had stopped this diesel automatic avatar of Swift, but this car has been purchased on July 2019. So we were quite lucky to purchase this car, and we were extremely satisfied with the performance of this car. It still retains a mileage of 22 kmpl, and if I drive at a normal speed of 80 to 100, it retains nearly 100 how to tell, it retains nearly 24 kmpl, which is extremely good for a mileage conscious buyer. So here I'm going to take a U-turn.